Hello everyone and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Monday, August 21st, 2017. Happy Eclipse Day. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Please remember, everyone, we go live on Facebook Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time. It is 6:15 Alaska time right now, and that is because Nathan's computer hates him. In addition to that, please, if you would be interested, support this show at patreon.com/dailyinternet. Nathan, how are you doing today?
Kind of want to get it over with.
The whole day? Or the whole week?
Yeah. All of it.
Life in general?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
What'd you do?
On Friday, I played D&D, which was interesting because they tried to skip the quest altogether, and they got shoehorned back into it because of unlucky dice rolls.
Oh, nice.
Then on Saturday, it was a relatively chill day the entire day, and then I hung out with Lindsay, which is cool.
Cool.
And then on Sunday, I learned a lot about something super cool, and I wanted that as my thing of the day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll save it for the thing of the day then. Anything else for the time being, though? Or you just want to get started?
Get started.
Tilt your camera down just a smidge. You're just a little bit too high. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Okay. Anyway. Boom. 10. Apple will give $2 million to Charlottesville. Here's how much Tim Cook has donated to human rights. I actually meant to cut out that second sentence, but whatever.
This is submitted by Serial007 to Our Uplifting News.
Yep, Apple said in response to all of the craziness going on at the, I guess not there at now anyway, but what happened at Charlottesville, they're going to be giving $1 million to, where'd it go? The Southern Poverty Law Center, and another $1 million to the Anti-Defamation League.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Well, they have a lot of money. What was it that they had sitting in their bank account? Something like $300 billion or something, just sitting around.
I don't know.
Like they have so much money, and it's not even like worth. It's not. They literally have this much money. They had enough money to, like, what was it? They were like able to buy Disney or Walmart or who else was it? They have so much money they could just buy them, like, flat out. No like deciding a deal, just click, we own them now.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't remember everyone they could buy, but it was so much money. Some other things that Apple CEO Tim Cook has donated to. He donated $2.5 million to Hurricane Sandy relief. He has donated $130 million to AIDS fighting organization, specifically to RED, R-E-D. And they particularly look at, like, HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis, and Maria.
And Mario?
No, Maria.
Oh, that doesn't sound as fun.
He's disclosed an undisclosed amount to Equal Rights. In 2014, Tim Cook became the first CEO of a Fortune 500 company to openly come out as gay. In doing so, he promoted he promoted equal rights for all, and then that same year, he donated an undisclosed amount to the Human Rights Campaign's Project One America. So that's probably a lot, since he didn't say how much. He has donated
a rather large amount.
Well, I mean, the number keeps going up. There's been $50 million donated to Stanford Hospital, with half of that donation going towards a new main building and the other half going towards a new children's hospital. $100 million to advance diversity in tech. This is actually, instead of straight up cash, this has been mostly iPads, MacBooks, and other products, as well as professional development tools, which have been donated to either like schools, universities, or just like companies that need them. And also, he has announced that his entire fortune will eventually go to charity. He is going to help his children. He's going to pay for, like, their college and stuff like that. And the rest of his money, which is tons and tons and tons, is going to fund philanthropic projects and charities.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
philanthropy is English stick too.
I understood.
It's a thing that more people need to get into.
Yeah. I mean, at least those with money. There's a few other people that have pledged to give away their fortunes by the by the end of their lives, essentially. I know that both Warren Buffett and Bill Gates have both said all of my money will go to beneficial purposes by the time I am dead, and if it is not gone by the time I'm dead, it needs, whatever is left over needs to go to X, Y, and Z. I forget what there's an actual pledge that they made. There's a few other rich people that are in on that, of people that are just like, we will give all of our money away because we have too much of it and it should go to good things.
Because you don't need that much of it.
No, and you can't do anything with it, like, not realistically, not for you anyway. I mean, they could already buy anything they wanted ever. So at this point, it really is just like, well, I have all this money. I made all this money. I don't know what to do with all this money. I will just make sure that it goes to helping other people, because that's a good thing to do when you have a bunch of money.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're being very humanistic.
Sure. Like, it makes me happy and makes me like them even better, even when they do like not great things, because I mean, sometimes, you know, they have to make decisions that are like not awesome for the sake of either their companies or keeping the ball rolling in some ways. But it's like, in the end, like, if you're looking at like a karma table and they're all the way on the right and then they get blown back just a little bit, but then they're just going to keep on falling to the right because they're that good.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, even if they're not, even if they have a slip up, they tend to be all right.
Yeah. So yeah. Anywho.
9.
Uber wins ruling allowing it to keep customers from suing in court.
This was submitted by Mavia to Our Technology.
This is something that a bunch of people need to be aware of, and it's not necessarily specifically Uber, but you know how there are these things called the terms of service and the end user agreement that we just click, I agree, because you want to use a product? Well, as people have discovered in the past, there are a lot of things that they just put in those terms of service and those end user agreements that you might realize that you're agreeing to. And in this case, one of the most common ones that keeps on showing up in this is you waive your right to sue the company in court, which means you can't sue them. If you have a legal dispute of any form that you want to take it with them, it has to be dealt with by arbitration behind closed doors. And what arbitration means is that you discuss the matters between yourself and one another using your lawyers and using your judges. It is not a public court with a jury where a public judge makes a decision. It is a closed door case, essentially. So it's not that you can't deal with them, it's that you have to deal with them by their terms, which arbitration is normally very expensive, and since they get to pick which judge they use, they most often pick judges that align with what they want.
That's why you pick an arbiter.
Sure?
There's specific people who sit in arbitration meetings specifically for that reason.
Sure, but I mean, even then, like, you're still kind of flipping a coin.
Sure.
Either way, this came because a gentleman was trying to sue Uber for surge pricing. Uber has a relatively new function of surge pricing, to where if it's really busy, the prices go up. He was suing them of like, that's price gouging. You're not allowed to do that. That's against the law. Also, are the employees getting a benefit from this increased cost? Yes or no? But they just responded with, you can't sue us, so we don't have to answer any of these questions because you signed an agreement that said you wouldn't sue us. And originally a lower court said, no, that's wrong. This is unambiguous. And no, it's an ambiguous thing of that they signed it because they don't realize that they're agreeing to this. But a higher court after that said, no, it doesn't matter. If they didn't read it, it's not their problem. They said that they wouldn't sue them. So yeah.
Damn, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because EULAs are way too long to actually read.
Also, they're written in legalese. And a lot of people don't understand legalese.
90% of people are just, it's going to fall blank on them.
Several other companies have the same thing. Airbnb, Netflix, Amazon, AT&T, and probably several other companies that you don't realize it. I'm not allowed to sue Lowe's because I worked for them. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is. Like, for any reason. I'm not allowed to have a lawsuit against Lowe's.
Not even just coming back?
Mm-mm.
That's dumb.
Yep.
I think it's really stupid.
Now, like, I don't ever expect to have a reason to have a lawsuit against Lowe's.
Watch, you're gonna walk into Lowe's and they're accidentally gonna lop your arm off, and you're not gonna be able to sue them.
Well, I mean, I'd still be able to take them through arbitration and other things, but then you...
Sure, but you won't be able to sue them.
No, but there's still avenues. There's been a lot of criticism about the companies that protect themselves with the right to arbitration, but right now it's still just a thing that is allowed.
I think it's dumb.
Yeah, it feels pretty dumb.
Yeah, no, definitely. It feels like a losing battle for anyone who isn't on the side of people making the EULAs.
Yeah.
3,
Nope, wrong number.
8,
Those are right above one another. Texas University removes white supremacy statues overnight.
That was submitted by Condor Box to Our Politics.
The reason why is because someone tried to sneak on campus and blow it up. Yep. Authorities have arrested a 25-year-old man on Monday who was trying to blow up a Confederate statue. And in response to this, I mean, they immediately, when he was arrested and caught, and said, no, you don't get to blow stuff up. That's illegal. But they did go ahead and begin removing the monuments, several of which were removed overnight, the majority of which are being moved to the Briscoe Center for American History. So they're just being moved and put in museums.
Fucking awesome. That's, you know...
And that's fine.
They're being put into museums.
Yep.
I'm for making sure that these things aren't in public spaces like this. However, I'm not for people blowing them up on their own accord.
Yeah, or tearing them down of their own accord. Like, that. While I understand your plight, that falls into, like, you know, the realms of anarchy and riot in the streets and stuff, and that's not the proper way to go about this. I mean, it will happen, especially if you just stay fervent about it, but don't get so fervent that you turn into a zealot that starts tearing shit down.
Yeah, no, it's not a good thing. You're just becoming more of the things that you hate.
Well, and it's already happening. I mean, what was it? It was Baltimore and Charlottesville and Boston and now Texas University that have just been like, whatever, we'll just take them down. Doesn't matter to us. We don't care.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's good that they had the foresight to do that. Well, I guess it's not really foresight at this point.
Yeah, it was a necessary response. There are currently about 700 monuments to the Confederacy in public spaces across the United States. As backlash continues to grow, it is expected that the majority, if not all of these, will be taken down.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean...
And hopefully put into museums.
Or whatever, private collections are also a thing. I mean, more often than not, people will buy them for a private collection and then put them in a museum.
Yeah, no, I would hope, no matter what, that these go to a museum.
Well, normally the people that have those private collections don't have a place to put them. So they're like, hey, museum, you want this? And the museum's like, totally.
Yeah, let's do it. I feel like most museums...
Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like museums tend to really like it when people just give them shit.
Yeah, of course. It means they don't have to spend the money on it.
Mm-hmm.
7,
The world's largest floating solar farm has begun producing energy atop a former coal mine.
This was submitted by P. Newell to Our World News.
Yep, this is happening in China. So a coal mine, one of the largest coal mines in the world, with one of the most rich veins of coal that has ever been found, flooded recently. And by flooded, I mean, like, it's a lake now, a big one. So instead, China was like, well, we need to clean up our image anyway. We have all these pollution problems. So you know what? We'll just leave it flooded. We'll just turn it into a lake and then build a solar farm on top. So that's what they did. It's a 40-megawatt power plant consisting of 120,000 solar panels. It has an area larger than 160 American football fields. It costs
Damn, that's huge.
Yeah, it costs $45 million to build and will power approximately 15,000 homes.
That's fucking insane. Can we build more of these?
We're working on it. I mean, this is a big deal because it's the largest one and in one of the most polluted areas of the world.
Let's make it even larger in less polluted areas.
Your hair is pretty glamorous right now, sir.
It's flopping everywhere. I fucking left my hat at Brendan's, so it's just kind of...
How could you? How could you, Nathan? Okay. So, power to solar power.
6.
Ukraine has removed all 1,320 statues of Lenin.
Oh, hey, statue's coming down.
Yep.
This was submitted by Telman1257 to Our World News.
Yep. So now it's not technically all across Ukraine. This is all of Ukraine that is controlled under the Kiev-based government. So Kiev, yeah, the Kiev-based government. So there's some places that don't fall into that classification. So there are still a couple of dozen statues that are still standing to the Bolshevik leader. But apparently over the last 2 years they've been working on this, but it's become a very big deal recently because of recent events. So a total of 1,320 statues have been removed, which is every single one that is within the Kiev territories.
Actually, I think it's pronounced Kiev.
Okay.
But well, I mean that's really cool. Everyone's tearing down their statues.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe they'll be replaced with good statues or just
Like Stalin.
What?
What?
No.
I'm sorry, wrong way.
Or just cool sculptures too. Like I don't.
Gorbachev.
That's better, I guess. Like I mean,
Yeah.
if we're going with the lesser of three evils.
I mean, not every Russian guy is evil.
Okay, every Russian leader.
You've got
Oh, who?
Anastasia,
Okay, it's a stretch.
based off a real person.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
And that
even
movie was pretty dope.
Catherine the Great was a warmonger, so yeah,
That's why they call her the Great. It's like Alexander.
sure. Russia doesn't have a good track record. I can't speak a whole lot either. I mean, I'm German, and my country's track record is just like.
Yeah, you got like Angela Merkel.
Yeah, we're doing all right now, but in the from like 1960s and 20,000 years before that, none of it's great.
What are you talking about? Yeah, what? Who was the guy in World War One? I forget the name of their leader during
Sick. We got one guy.
that. I'm over it.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry.
I don't even think he was actually that great.
I realized that the title card didn't actually change for that last one. Oh well.
Way to go!
5.
I know, I'm a total failure. Breitbart mistakes German footballer Lukas Podolski for human trafficker.
This was submitted by Jin Lingna to Our World News. Is it because he passes really well?
No. What this actually is because they were running an article about human trafficking, and apparently what it is you can pay these people a very large amount of money, and they will ferry you from one country to another. From Morocco to Spain via jet ski, and because the jet ski is small and quick and able to land just about anywhere, is how they're able to sneak people from one place to another. So they were like, we need a picture of people on jet skis. So I guess they just looked up a picture of jet skis, and what they found was a picture of Lukas Podolski from the 2014 World Cup in Brazil riding on the back of a jet ski, giving a peace sign, and that's the image they used.
Are you fucking kidding?
No.
Couldn't do a little bit more digging.
Nope.
Not even like 5 minutes more.
Nope. Or even do a reverse image search to make sure what you're using is like relevant.
Oh God, Breitbart.
Yeah,
You're
Breitbart's the worst.
You were the worst before Bannon left, and you're still the worst next to the Daily Stormer.
Like, well, I mean, they're also eating it because they've had like 2,500 what's the word? Advertisers pull out in the last year.
2,000?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Well, fuck them. I hope they go under.
Oh, they're working on it. Slowly but
Sure.
surely, the train is picking up speed.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Clint Eastwood, famous for shooting as few takes as possible, just started production on his Paris train bombing movie a couple weeks ago, and still plans to have it done for an Oscar run this winter.
This is submitted by Uneventful Animal to Our Movies.
So
That's some fucking wishful thinking.
Well, I didn't actually even know this about Clint Eastwood, but apparently he makes his movies very quickly. Very few takes, super economic, quick and fast editing, and says, "Okay, we're done," and slides it out the door. He's also apparently notorious for surprise bombing people when it comes to the Oscars. So right now there are two productions that are Oscar movies, essentially. We have Steven Spielberg's The Papers, which is about the Washington Post, the Pentagon Papers, and a watershed moment in the history of press freedom. The other one is Ridley Scott's All the Money in the World. It's about the 1973 kidnapping of a 16-year-old John Paul Getty III. And both these movies are going to be cutting it close in terms of release for the winter Oscars. Both movies are, The Papers is slated for a December 22nd release, and Ridley Scott's is slated for a December 8th release. And they've not even finished yet either. So with that, they're cutting it close. But the belief is that apparently, according to I have no idea who, this is a Variety.com article, so take this with a grain of salt, was that Ridley Scott's All the Money in the World was slated to win one of the Oscars. Apparently, I have no idea how anyone has any predictions for that whatsoever, because no one's seen the movie, because it's not done yet. And because Ridley Scott still hasn't gotten an Oscar, and apparently Sony was like, "We'll get you an Oscar, buddy. Let's make this movie." Well, Clint Eastwood is apparently really well known for messing all of that up. Because he just threw together $1 Million Baby. It wrapped in the summer of 2004, and it spoiled the season for Martin Scorsese and The Aviator, in which it took the Oscar over that. He pulled another sneak attack 2 years ago with Letters from Iwo Jima, which came together extremely quickly to steal the Oscar out from under flags of our fathers.
Huh. So he's deliberately stealing Oscars?
I don't know. I think he's just gets a bug to make a movie, and he's like, "Let's do it," but he works quickly and efficiently, and then it ends up ruining people's Oscars, which I don't feel like you can say it ruins people's Oscars, because if your movie was better than his, it would have gotten the Oscar.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So it
just means that he made a better movie in a shorter period of time
with less money. By that description, it's so Clint Eastwood's a really good director, it sounds like. Cool.
Yeah. No, that's pretty fucking sick.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm all for it,
Kubrick made amazing movies, but it took him forever to make the movies, and he did a ton of takes, and this is the exact opposite. So, either way, a masterpiece is a masterpiece, I guess?
I guess so.
3.
Catholic Church claimed child sex abuse victims consented.
This was submitted by Flu Fighter to Our News.
Yep. So
that's not how that works.
This has been their favorite argument, in which over 700 victims and survivors of Catholic child sex abuse have had their claims rejected under this idea of that they consented. And by what they're trying to pass for consent is they would voluntarily go with whoever was abusing them. They didn't fight against it. They came with us.
I'm sorry, you keep cutting out for me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My CPU says it's getting high. I'll be real happy when that computer gets here. I'm not sure what's eating up my CPU, though, so bad. If my task manager will open, I can maybe try and find out. But for all I know, it's just the programs that are running right now, because that's just how my computer likes to flow. Are you able to hear me relatively okay right now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Well, either way, so they were saying that the victims voluntarily came with their abusers. We're going to go in this back room, and they'd be like, "Okay," because they didn't fight against them or say no, they were consenting. That's
not how that works.
Right? And it's
because all right.
Go ahead.
So
go ahead.
Let's use another viewpoint, all right? They're children. You tell them, "Hey, let's go to this back room." They'll fucking do it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, especially if you're in authority, this is why adults who are in positions of power to their students aren't allowed to have relationships with their students, even if they're of age. It's not something that we're doing because positions of power is just awful in general. well, maybe not awful in general, at least in this sexual sense. If you have a position of power over somebody else, I feel you should not be using or having sex with them. This includes not only teachers and churchgoers, but also bosses. If you have a boss, you should not be having sex with your boss.
Right.
That's just how that is. Now, this is similar. It is not the same. It is similar to how, like, if you take someone you're watching who's mentally ill and take them to a back room by saying, "Hey, let's go to this back room," and then you fondle them. It's similar. It's like you can't do that. They don't have the comprehension. They don't have the mental function to consent yet.
Sure.
Or if ever. It's not there. It's not how that works.
No, it doesn't.
You cannot consent as a child to sexual things. I mean, I guess you technically can, but really not. Because you don't know what's going on. It's not something that your mind can comprehend at that age.
Yeah. No.
And if it is comprehending that thing, then you have a lot more problems than that. Like, your kids probably already had this happen.
Well, and also, I mean, some of the victims have talked about how with the way that it works is that it's not like an immediate thing. Like, they spend time educating and grooming you to where it is an okay thing in your mind.
And that's not okay. That's literally Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah. No, it's not okay.
You cannot defend that. There's no physical way or mental way of defending touching a child like that.
No. And by the way, those 700 victims are just in the last 5 years.
Yeah, what?
Mm-hmm.
No wonder you have so many fucking jokes about your goddamn religion.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You know how you could stop this, right?
What?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe if you just didn't employ pedophiles, or if you let your priests have sex with regular women.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't either.
No, that was not an official release from the church. That was an official release from all of the pastors.
2.
Oh, are you talking about the number? No, that number comes from what is it called?
See, that was a very bad joke about releasing.
Oh, it went over my head. That is from the criminal.
I bet it went over theirs too.
Wow, that's bad taste. Criminal injuries.
Yeah, I bet they said that too.
Nathan, really? Good Lord, man.
Yeah, I bet they said that too.
Those numbers were provided by the Criminal Injuries Compensation Authority, CICA. Okay, so moving on to number 2.
2.
Guided missile destroyer USS John S. McCain has collided with a merchant vessel near the Strait of Malacca.
Submitted by OpGrad11 to our news.
As well as Bogart's boss to our world news.
As well as Theo Bidis to our politics, but that's something else.
Yeah,
that.
That's something else. So yeah,
is it
like
does the destroyer have brain cancer too?
I don't know. No one knows. Everyone's confused. Like, this is happening way too much. Like, it's different when cars are crammed onto a road. It's a big ocean, people. Like,
this reminds me of something I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about. He was talking about how someone was talking to him about a horse collision. And he's like, motherfucker, horses colliding? I have never seen a rear end collision with horses. This is fucking insane that has happened with boats twice in this year.
no, it's happened more than that.
More than twice? Oh my god. I only remember reporting on twice, including this one.
Well, there's only been 2 that were extremely, like, big deals. There was the USS Fitzgerald, which, by the way, is the sister ship to the John S. McCain. So maybe these 2 boats are just cursed. We also had in May of this year had the USS Lake Champlain struck by a South Korean fishing boat, and in January the USS I'm going to screw that up. Antietam. That's
I don't know. I'd have to open it. Which one? First, second, or third?
It's the second one, probably about 40% of the way down the page. U.S. warships accidents is a picture. Anyway, it was damaged because it just ran into the coast. It just ran aground. They just right into the coast. Boom. So we've had 4 in the last 3 months, 3.5 months. Oh, since January So in the last 8 months. But 3 actual naval collisions not running aground in the last 3 months.
What is this thing?
I don't know.
I don't see.
Are you on the CNN one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe you didn't scroll down far enough.
Probably. What's it spelled? Or how's it spelled?
Antietam. 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 Antietam.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
That's the best I got. Either way, this one had a little bit more of an excuse, I guess, because they were actually in the Strait of Malacca, which is a very narrow strait with a lot of activity because it's right off the, it's what leads into the port of Singapore. That said, I still feel like this is strange and weird. They got hit. And it wasn't like a small fishing vessel. This was a massive oil tanker that just...
Yeah, if you look at the picture, that fucking boat is goddamn dented.
Yeah, hit real hard. There's a full investigation being launched again because basically the U.S. Navy wants to know why this keeps happening, which is...
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with their like systems or something?
Well, it doesn't seem to be a matter of the systems. According to several naval officers, it's that they're overworked. And it's not like, oh, we have to work a lot. It's like, no, they're working so much that they will work 3 days straight with maybe a 90-minute nap in there, to the point that, like, some of them have hit the point where they're hallucinating of, like, I don't know what I see and I don't know what I hear because I haven't got a chance to sleep because they just don't have enough people.
That's fucking bonkers.
But the ship still has to operate?
That's absolutely insane. Why don't we just pull some fucking ships?
I don't know. Because America?
Or maybe like cross-train and recruit people who are grunts in the actual army. Teach them how to do boat stuff.
I don't know. I have no idea. But that's what, like, no one actually involved with the incident is saying, is that they're just saying it's probably because they haven't got any sleep. So there's mistakes that get made when you haven't slept in 48 or 72 hours. Like,
see, I can understand that.
Either way, unfortunately, 10 sailors did fall off the boat and are missing at this point in time. 5 more were critically injured. And our president had a response to that. And who was that submitted by?
Theobides to our politics.
President of the United States Donald Trump's response was, "That's too bad."
Doesn't even care about our sailors.
10 men missing, most likely dead. 5 extremely injured. Aw, man, that's too bad.
10 of them.
But you know, it's an absolute travesty and disgrace that these monuments are getting torn down.
These beautiful monuments, mind you.
These beautiful monuments, you're destroying history. But those sailors, that's too bad.
Fuck those 10 sailors. Those 10. 10 dudes.
That's just a darn shame. Fuck you, Donald Trump. Like, seriously.
Fuck him.
I try and defend you,
right.
like, so
That's
often.
Too bad. That's too bad is what happens when your steak comes back and it's not cooked to the way that you like. That's too bad is for when you go over par in your golf game. That's too bad is when you run out of gas on accident.
Mm-hmm.
That's too bad is not when 10 sailors are either dead or missing.
Yeah, and 5 more are extremely injured. Like,
yeah. That's not a that's too bad situation. That's where you make a press conference.
Yeah, no.
And address the situation.
No, it sucks. It's real bad. Like, Donald Trump, I try and defend you so often so that this is not just a heavy leftist show that likes to slam on you, but seriously,
no,
fuck
you're
you.
a giant fucking dickhead in this
Like,
case.
seriously, just eat it. You're the worst. Speaking of him being the worst and the negative effects that he's had on the country in multiple ways, if I can get this to apply.
1.
Secret Service out of money to pay agents because of Trump's frequent travel and large family.
This is submitted by Kichong to our politics. First, he runs his company's bankrupt. Now he's running the Secret Service bankrupt.
Well, I mean, his companies are doing a lot better because of all the money they're getting from, travel and the Secret Service.
Well, yeah, now they are. Now that they're siphoning money away from the fucking Secret Service.
There are 42 people that are under Secret Service protection under the Trump administration.
How many was there during the
Obama administration?
Obama campaign? Yeah.
11.
11?
11.
Okay. So this is a differential of 31 people?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, you have to surround all of those 31 people with at least one person needs at least, 3 or 4 people?
I don't know the numbers. I have no idea what the numbers are.
Either way, you need to surround all of these people with a large amount of people. And then on top of that, you have to pay for all of those people's travel costs, in addition to housing and food.
Well, and the thing is that
in addition to overtime costs.
Well, and it goes past that because, if they're traveling somewhere, the Secret Service goes first before they get there to make sure the place is good.
So they have to first travel there, make sure it's good. If it's not, well, they just blew a fuckload of money.
So what it is right now is, as with the entire state, every division, every section has a budget for the year. The Secret Service has already met and passed their yearly budget, and it's only August.
So we have fucking 4 more goddamn months in this goddamn year?
Yep, they ran out of money about 5 months short, to the point that they legitimately just can't pay Secret Service agents anymore. They don't have any money to pay them. The salary for a Secret Service agent is $160,000 a year. There has been a request for it to be raised up to $187,000 a year. But even if they get an influx of money, they will not be able to pay everyone the money they are owed for the hours they have already worked, much less the hours that they are still being asked to work. Because of the sheer number of people that are under Secret Service protection. I mean, Trump's family alone is 18 people.
Oh, God.
And the other issue is that they're all in different places. Which makes
they can't all uniformly just stay in one place together?
Nope.
Because they can't even stand being around each other.
So, I mean, the Secret Service is literally broke. They literally have no money.
And it's because of Trump.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I mean, there would if the pre-planning could have helped for it. If Trump didn't travel every weekend, it would help, because apparently, according to the budget report, they've spent $60,000 on golf cart rentals. All of which are at Trump's establishments.
I would shit my pants if I could have that much money. You bet your ass I would not be renting that many golf carts.
Yep. Well, and also, the approximation for each trip to Mar-a-Lago is $3 million.
This is pretty much laundering.
I mean...
You don't pay taxes... And then you decide to funnel all of the fucking taxpayers' money that is supposed to be in the Secret Service to protect your ass back into your pocket.
Well, Eric Trump traveled to Uruguay, and that was $100,000 just for the hotel rooms.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's some bullshit right there.
And it's for reasons like that the Secret Service is broke. They don't have any money.
Oh, God, it's really unfortunate the Secret Service can't go, nope, fuck you, you're protecting yourself now.
There are literally now things being put forward to increase the funding for the Secret Service specifically for Donald Trump's term.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard.
They also will need to
and yet we have to cut all of the funding for all of these other things that are great, like PBS. And we can't cut his travel funds?
Well, I mean,